wherein he will take you through the various steps, and so that we start to question. The purpose of human life is to question, and the questioning starts from who we are, what is our nature, etc. So I will hand over the mic to Swami Gauranga. Thank you very much.
With all of you discussing such an important topic in life, and I would really appreciate if all of you can make it interactive. I would be asking you some questions, and I would also very much like if you please put forward your questions. Please feel free, because the spiritual science is not blind faith. It begins with inquiry. So please have an open mind, and would value your participation. So I will chant the invocation mantra. You can repeat it. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Dhirastatra na muhyati.
Dhirastatra na muhyati.
Intelligent, obviously. That is why you are learning computer science. It is meant for the cream of the people. So I would like to ask you a question. How many of you have thought about your own self? Can you raise your hands? How many of you have thought about your own self? What do you think? What is your identity? Okay, I'll ask you a simpler question. How many of you stand in front of a mirror daily? Everybody. So, when you are standing in front of the mirror, you decorate your hair, your body, wear nice clothes, always think so much about yourself. So I would like to ask you this question. Have you ever thought that who are you? Have you ever thought about it?
First and foremost, we are all human beings. The next step
Yes.
about the knowledge.
Yes. But human beings means what exactly? Homo
Who are
sapiens.
able to think and do the things properly, correctly.
Yeah. But the thinking faculty comes from the mind, right? But when you say it is my mind is working nicely today. So obviously it means that you are not the mind. When I say my computer, I cannot be the computer, I possess the computer. So when you say my mind, you are not the mind. So when we are thinking and feeling, so what do we think? Who are we? That is my question.
You have the control over your mind, right? So obviously it is your mind.
Yeah, right. It is your mind. You have the control, but who are you? That is my question. My hand, my body, my nose, my job, my home, everything is ours. and we try to give ourselves happiness, we try to live enjoyable life. But how can we do that without knowing our real identity? Can you make yourself happy without knowing who you are? One person wanted to make himself happy. He thought he is the coat, so he's brushing the coat the whole day. He's cleaning the coat. But in the night he came to know, no, I am not the coat. This is my coat. So simply brushing the coat will not make me happy. So, what do you think you are? I mean, this is the basic education. We should be given in all colleges, all universities and all faculties, basic education of who am I. Then we will be able to perform all branches of education very nicely. So if you ask this question in front of the mirror, what do you think? What answer will you get?
Everybody has an ambition in their life. Probably at your younger stage, you may be thinking I would become a doctor after 20 years.
Yes.
So you prepare yourself, and that is your goal. And you prepare yourself, you build up yourself, and you become what you want.
Okay.
But practically speaking,
Okay, you want to become what you want to be, but I am talking
When you
about
ask
the
this
present
question-
tense. First of all, who are you presently?
I'm in the transformation phase. If I think I want to be a doctor after 20 years, when I ask the same question at my 10th year, I would say I'm in the transformation phase of a doctor.
Okay, but what is transforming? Who is transforming?
I'm transforming.
Okay, then if you are transforming, then why does your mother call you with the same name? You have seen your childhood photo?
So many times.
Yeah. And your present photo, is there any difference?
A lot of difference.
Lots of difference. You are completely transformed. But
That
your
is physical transformation. I'm talking about the mental agility, whatever you want.
yeah, exactly. So I am also talking about that. I want to really pinpoint who are you.
So what I mean to say, I may not be able to answer this question when you ask me
Right.
now. But maybe able to answer
Maybe
the same
after
question
this-
after 20 years.
No, after this program you will be able to answer.
Okay.
Money back guarantee. If you cannot answer, then I'll take back the time. I'm not charging any money. At least I can take back the time.
And then
Yes.
I am a part of God. And this world is made by God. And it's the life that fails.
Okay.
And we are only playing a part role.
Yes. What you are talking about is quite advanced level studies, like you talk of Java and Pascal and Fortran. And all this is. My basic question is, who to identify yourself? You are the possessor of your mind, your body, you are the controller. So obviously you are somewhat different from mind. You are different from intelligence, you are different from your body. Because all of them belong to you. So this basic question is known as the question of the science of self-realization. It's very simple, but it is the basic question of human life. And that we should address, because we see easy to point to our eye or to the nose. We can point easily to any part of ourselves. But can we point to us? Who are we? And why can't we point? Because of the lack of proper education. Unfortunately, this science of the soul is not being taught in all colleges and departments, because of this is known as the king of all knowledge. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Raj Vidya Raj Guhyam Pavitram Nidamuttamam. This is the topmost knowledge, king of all knowledge. At the same time, it is the most confidential of all knowledge. Why it is confidential? Because we never ask this question. It requires somebody who is enlightened to tell us actually who we are. So we go over to the next slide.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you say you're completely separate from your intelligence or mind or
Yes.
whatever it is, how do you define this intelligence?
What I
Is that
suggest is you wait
intelligence-
for a few more slides and then you note down your question. Then if your question is not clarified, then I will reply to that. In our quest to analyze who are we actually, we go to the laboratory in Los Angeles where the doctors, they dissected our body. They analyzed the constituents of our body, and they found that they made up of basically calcium, iron, phosphorus, water content, other sparing substances. Basically, water content of our body is how much?
70%.
Around 78%. Our body is composed of water and other sparingly calcium, iron, phosphorus. So if I tell you, you are just water, 78% you are water, you will all say, Swamiji, you are not mad. We have such intelligence, we are learning computer course, how can we simply be water? So obviously we are not water, though our body is made up of 78% water and all other constituents, and the scientists, they made a market value of all the constituents of our body, and they came out, what is the value? 110 rupees or $2. That is the value of our body, which is made up of flesh, bones, mucus, blood, stool, everything. So my question again to you is, do you think your value is 110 rupees? No. Obviously not. Why? If you think you are the body, then you are worth 110 rupees. But obviously, we are not the body. You say my body. I am somebody different. I am the master of the body. I am the possessor of the body. So, the value, our value is more than, what is your value? Can you tell me? What do you think you are worth? How much? Nobody knows. You are not worth.
It depends on the identity, how you maintain the society.
Is it so complex?
Like dignified.
No, I mean if somebody will come to buy you, get sold to me, how much you will charge him? What do you think your worth is?
Only maybe
Countless.
maybe kidnapper, maybe the extortion.
Yes. So you will not put the value to yourself. You know you are more worth than crores of rupees. Invaluable. Everyone, the most dear thing is us, ourselves. So I am just trying to explain to you logically that we ourselves, we are something very high. We are not simply a product of chemicals. We are not simply matter, dead matter. This body is simply dead matter. At the time of death, the body is totally bereft of any consciousness. And that is, if somebody would come to pay 110 rupees, nobody would even pay 110 rupees for us, our bodies, at the time of death. So what I am trying to tell you is, we are something superior. We are something superior than the body. We are the controller of the body. And that we should try to think about. Because this questions can only arise in advanced intelligence. Human beings, animals. Can cows and dogs come and attend this course here? They can't come. Even if we give them a chair to sit, they will not understand anything. So this question cannot be asked in any other body. Only in the human body we can ask this question: who am I? Where am I going? What is my goal in life? Who is God? Am I worth only 110 rupees? So this is a very important part of our education, and so happy that Umeshji has included this part of education also along with his computer institute. So he is giving you the highest benefit of all levels. With without this knowledge, without this inquiry of who am I, we are simply living our life like sophisticated animals. There is no difference between us and animals. I ask you a question, you go to sleep in a nice bed, soft bed, and after you sleep, you get the pleasure of sleep. But a dog, it sleeps on the street in the dust. So after sleeping, does the dog get more pleasure or less pleasure? Same. The pleasure is the same, sleeping. So, is the human life meant for sleeping? It is not meant for sleeping, because that same enjoyment is available to the dog also. It's just like, you drink water in a golden cup or a silver cup or a copper cup. The taste of the water is the same. So, sleeping, eating. There is a society in America, they just live to eat. They don't eat to live. They live for eating. What they do is that they gather in big society and they eat so much that they are full like this. Then they go to the wash basin, they vomit, and again they come and eat. They are simply living to eat. So I mean, if you analyze the pig when it eats plastic and paper and tin and all that, the pig gets the same taste when we eat rasagulla or halwa. For us there are different delicacies. For the pig it is also different delicacies, but there is a different brand of delicacies. The only problem is the pig, we have to pay money to buy the delicacies. For the pig it is free. The pig can go anytime in the garbage and eat anything. Anytime. So, we have been given the human life for some higher purpose. Not for just eating and sleeping. I have seen people, when I travel to different places in the trains, in the planes, they are talking about food. Hours and hours, they just keep on talking, this I will cook, this, that, this. I am just surprised. If you want to live for eating, then more facility is there in the pig body or in a horse body or elephant body. They can eat 140 tons, elephants. So we don't require a human body just for eating. There is a higher purpose behind this. For fighting, we require a machine gun, AK-47 to fight, which is worth how much? Lakhs of rupees. But the dogs, they are fighting for free with their claws. They are fighting and quarreling. They are doing better than us. They mark their territory. Don't come here inside. Don't come. And we are just fighting cold wars and hot wars between countries. No country is realizing the fact that nobody is the proprietor. To speak of that person, what was his name, who went to America for the first time? Columbus. He went to America and he planted his flag there. And he said, from today America is mine. But before he's going, whose America was? America belonged to whom? Before he went? America Vespucci. Okay, before Vespucci,
Nature.
Yes. And after he died, we'll live for 60, 70, 80 years and we claim proprietorship. Oh, this is mine, that is mine. And we keep on fighting. There is so much, the countries, they all made all bombs, atom bombs, and just thought of the mind, anybody can press the button. No, simply we are fighting. We are just sophisticated dogs. We call ourselves civilized human beings, but actually just animals. We are just, if you keep our dogs in a packed room, what will the dogs do?
Fighting each other.
They will not love each other. They will start fighting and breaking blood from each other. Similarly, nowadays, there is no peace in society, no peace. They are having so many meetings, non-aligned in United Nations, but as when United Nations they make that many flags are increasing. You see there are new nations coming up every year, they are division, they are dividing. So why nobody is happy in this world? Because nobody is inquiring about the higher purpose of human life. They want to provide some artificial patchwork solution, having United Nations and peace meetings. But unless we address this question of who am I, unless there is peace on an individual level, how can there be peace on collective level? You cannot possibly bring the peace. If you simply want to waste your life for mating, now mating is a very big fashion nowadays. Everyone wants to live for that. All the propaganda is for that. But for mating, the pigeon body is more conditioned. A pigeon is mating 40 times in the day. Human beings can do 1 or 2 or 3 times. So human life is again not meant for simply for mating. It is meant for some higher purpose. And that we need to, otherwise we just become two-legged animals. No difference. And the misidentification problem in society, that is we don't know who we are. We are 30 years, 40 years of age, 50 years of age, but still we don't know who we are. Half of our life is gone. Still we don't know actually what is our real identity, and because of that unemployment, rape, crime, corruption,